Hi, I'm Michael Wolf. It's great to be here at Stagwell Sport Beach, and I'm thrilled to be here with Tony Khan, who is CEO, artistic director, and founder of All Elite Wrestling (AEW). So, Tony, fun to be here on the beach. Let me start off by saying you've had 6 years since you started it. Very seldom does anybody start a new sports franchise in 6 years, stand it up from zero, and have this kind of success. You have 1.2 million people a week are watching AEW live.
In the U.S. alone,
Yes.
where we're on in 150 countries worldwide, the audience every week is much bigger. But in the U.S. alone, 1.2 million people watching the TV show every week.
So you've got in the U.S. We've got 100 million wrestling fans, and 25 million of them are AEW fans. And by the way, finally, nobody is able to fill. Nobody but AEW and Taylor Smith are able to fill Wembley Stadium the way you've been able to do.
Well, we've had 81,035 paid tickets for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. I'm really excited. We'll be going back to Wembley Stadium next year, and London has been a great market for us because for international TV, we are actually the most watched wrestling show by far in the UK. And our ratings this year are higher than they've ever been in the 6 years we've been doing this. The 6-year anniversary of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, which is on TBS every Wednesday night and streaming now for the first year ever on Max and performing incredibly well, as you said, in the U.S. With a great audience. And that's just live same day without getting into the L3s and just live same day, 1.2 million viewers. We think it would be fair to say worldwide it's a much bigger number with 150 countries. And UK and Canada, we're seeing our biggest audiences ever. Those are two of our top international markets. But it's been really, I think 2025 has been the best year of AEW we've ever had. And right now, things are cooking. But you mentioned the UK, and that's been a top market for us because in most of the major metrics, whether it's the live attendance we've had or the viewership of the shows, which are top metrics in pro wrestling, we're number one, AEW in the UK,
And
which is
awareness has gone way, way up.
it's fantastic. In 6 years, what we've been able to build, the awareness of AEW, the endurance of the shows. Here in America, Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS is always one of the top shows on cable, was number one on Wednesday night last week. And the past few Wednesdays has beaten many of the network shows and is one of the top shows not only on cable but also on all of television in the 18 to 49 demographic. And this year is the first year we've simulcast AEW, and the audience on cable has actually gone up, and we've been able to grow awareness. And we're on Max live stream every Wednesday night and Saturday night, and we do every Wednesday night live on TBS, every Saturday night live on TNT. And it's been a really, really amazing thing to watch AEW grow. I love wrestling, and like you said, there's millions of wrestling fans, and we're still building awareness because we're the challenger brand in pro wrestling, but there's not been this kind of successful challenger brand in wrestling in many decades. And I'm really proud, in particular, to be able to do it on TBS and TNT, channels that have been showing wrestling, TBS going back over 50 years, and TNT going back to 1995. Just this year, we celebrated a huge milestone. In April, we did the 289th episode of Wednesday Night Dynamite. Why is that significant? Why did it get so much coverage? 289. It's not a round number necessarily, but it made us the longest running weekly primetime pro wrestling show in the history of Turner, which is a history, again, going back to TBS, the 1970s. It's been a staple of TBS and TNT pro wrestling for over 50 years, and TNT in particular, going back to 1995, there's been a lot of success on TBS and TNT, but the longest running primetime weekly pro wrestling show in the history of Turner Sports is AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays, and we built a great thing recently with Saturday Night Collision on TNT, which was in 2023 Mr. Zaslav's idea. He gave us a few months and said, would you like to do 2 hours every Saturday night? It wasn't in our original contract, and he had been with Warner Brothers Discovery having come together in 2022 officially. We'd been working together for about a year. We had been at TBS and TNT for about 4 years at that point. And he said, do you want to do Saturday nights every week? And I said, yes. And he said, how long do you need to get ready? I said, I can do it as soon as you need, maybe a couple months if possible. And it's been a great thing for us. And TBS and TNT have been great partners. But this year it's been really great to add Max, which is, as you know better than anybody with Activate, Michael, that we grown the audience and built a whole new connection with new fans that had maybe cut the cord, that weren't necessarily able to access TBS and TNT. Maybe even reconnected with fans that 6 years ago had TBS and TNT and don't now, that they have Max, which is one of...
It's gone younger. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, by going on Max, you've been able to go way under what's on cable.
Yes, absolutely, but still on cable, keeping one of the youngest audiences every week, and a top cable show in the 18 to 49 demographic, and actually growing the audience year over year. Where January 1st of 2025, we switched on the simulcast for the first time ever. People thought maybe less people would watch Wednesdays on TBS or Saturdays on TNT, but actually we've grown the audience on TBS and TNT, and grown a huge new following on Max. So like you said, our U.S. following alone is massive, but I am also so proud to be here in Europe with you. We've never had AEW here in France, but I think it's a beautiful country. It'd be a great place to host AEW. We're coming back to Europe very soon for shows. Glasgow, the first ever AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite and Collision in Glasgow. And then that weekend, the first time ever in the O2, we're going to sell out, pack the O2. It's already one of the top 4 live gates in the history of AEW, and 3 of the 4 have been in London.
One of the top 4 gates anywhere.
Yes, worldwide for AEW, biggest gates we've ever had. 3 of the top 4 have been in London, and I can't wait for the O2. And also, we're going to be back in Wembley Stadium next year, and we're going to really, really rock it again. But worldwide, like I said, we're still growing. That's what's amazing, because we're...
Well, it's amazing what's happened here. So WWE has been in business for 70 plus years. UFC has been around for 30 plus years. Here's what you've done in 6 years. How have you done it? How's this happened?
Partnerships, collaborations. Even before it was Warner Brothers Discovery, we had a great relationship, and the relationship's only gotten better since Mr. Zasloff took over, and we formed Warner Brothers Discovery. TBS and TNT from the very beginning have been great partners, and we were able to forge that relationship in the old days of Warner Media and maintain it where the shows run through different management. It's been a consistent winner on TBS every Wednesday, and TNT now for a few years every Saturday. Coming up in July 2nd, Ontario, California, we have great fans around Southern California that just packed for the first time ever Crypto.com Arena, which was neat for me to go there for the first time ever as a Lakers fan with a great wrestling crowd. LA's been a great city for us. We'll be around there again in Ontario, July 2nd, celebrating 300 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite. And that night, we're going to film the 100th episode of AEW Collision. It's going to be a really special night, and those are huge milestones. And then, like I said, we'll be coming back here to Europe. We'll be doing the shows in Glasgow and London, but there's worldwide opportunities. It's amazing. There's only a handful of countries we've actually done AEW live in. A small fraction of the countries where the TV show.
We'll talk about Mexico next week.
Well, we're actually heading this week. I'm heading from here directly to Mexico City. First ever AEW show live in Mexico. The oldest wrestling promotion in the world is actually CMLL in Mexico. They own and operate Arena Mexico, which is the cathedral of pro wrestling. And I'm a huge fan of CMLL's Lucha Libre. They're the worldwide leader in Lucha Libre and the oldest, most established, well-organized wrestling promotion in the world. And Salvador and his team are welcoming AEW with open arms. We'll be doing Wednesday Night Dynamite this week live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on TBS and live streaming on Max, the first ever wrestling show out of Arena Mexico in America to broadcast live. But also, not only that, really a symbol and a great partnership we have with our partners down there. We love Lucha Libre. We have a great collaboration with the leaders in that space, and there's a huge audience of Latino fans. And there's Latino fans all over America, all over Mexico that love pro wrestling. And we have a great audience now on TBS and TNT. We have a Spanish-speaking audience. We love Lucha Libre. This is going to be a tribute to some of the greatest wrestlers of all time and some of the greatest rivalries. And AEW are going to be showcased for people down there who watch the show in Mexico on Fox Sports Mexico, which is another new partnership, a new market. We've been doing the show not that long on Fox Sports Mexico. That's a new partnership talking about international growth. We've seen great buy-in from that, and that's been another great step.
So they're telling us that we're running out of time. So can you leave us? What should we be seeing next from AEW? What's your next big feat that you're going to do?
Grand Slam Mexico this Wednesday. Like I said, I'm very excited to come back here to Europe for Forbidden Door. But before that, July 12th, AEW All In, our biggest live show ever in America. Don't miss it. Saturday, July 12th. It's going to be AEW's. I mentioned the top 4 gates. That's the only one we've had in America. It's the biggest one yet. All in Texas. Don't miss it.
Thank you, Tony.
It's great to see you, Michael. Thanks for doing this.